Almost every country in the world today operates its economy through some form of capitalism. Even the few remaining countries that wouldn't clearly fall into the definition of a capitalist economy, and even countries that have built a national identity in opposition to capitalism, have either willingly or begrudgingly adopted many of its characteristics. But is the inevitability of global capitalism to Germany? Capitalism as it exists today is a relatively new phenomenon, primarily emerging with the Industrial Revolution. Considering this, it's easy to observe the development of capitalism and the global economy over the same time period and conclude that it's the optimal way of doing things. Some argue that through natural selection, the ideal economic system was created and spread worldwide. Capital development, innovation motivation, the drive to work harder, and the efficiencies of the free market are all touted as major benefits of capitalism. These benefits have made our civilizations thousands of times wealthier than they were in the centuries before capitalism. Opponents of capitalism often point to rising inequality, the exploitation of natural resources, and the erosion of human rights in the name of maximizing output as equally significant drawbacks. Unfortunately, the clash of these opposing ideals means that support or criticism of the predominant economic system in the world is treated less as something to be optimized and more as something to align behind. It's as if capitalism and socialism were opposing sports teams where only one side could win. Beyond not being very productive for real change, this kind of passionate support for one economic system or another is misguided. It's akin to a mechanic choosing a hammer as their favorite tool and then trying to fix a car without considering a socket wrench, which might be better suited for a particular job. To make sense of capitalism and hopefully form a more well-rounded overview of this economic tool, we need to answer a few simple questions. What even is capitalism? There is a good chance that most people passionately debating for or against it don't even get this part right. Why has capitalism become so dominant in our modern global economy? And finally, are there better alternatives? You might not realize how much you actually need to write for your work. I write these scripts for a living, but I was surprised to learn that the majority of working professionals spend as much as 88% of their time communicating, whether it's content for their work or just emails to colleagues and customers. Clearer communication could save you so much time. That's why any working professional needs Gram, the sponsor of this video. Their AI assistant helps me write better and faster without compromising my privacy, allowing me to create more videos for you to watch on the channel. I'm glad that Gram takes privacy seriously and the data you put in has never and will never be sold to third parties. So I can relax about the possibility of my scripts coming up on other people's AI-powered searches. My time spent on emails, my least favorite necessary task, has been massively cut down by using Gram's extension that writes polite email replies for me. And this incredible tool for anybody who writes regularly is free to try out. Just sign up using my link at gram.com/economics1 and download Gram for free. Let's accelerate your writing tasks now. One of the biggest challenges in discussing the strengths, weaknesses, and inevitable nature of capitalism is the lack of a universally agreed upon definition of capitalism. One reason for this is the tribalism that surrounds economic systems like capitalism, where one side attributes everything good to capitalism while the other side attributes only the bad. This makes it messy to define. However, by understanding what capitalism aims to achieve, we can gain a better idea of what it truly is. Capitalism, socialism, communism, and even anarchy are all attempts to address the fundamentally unanswerable problem of economics. We live in a world of finite resources but unlimited desires, so decisions must be made about what to produce, how to produce it, and for whom. Capitalism tries to tackle this by creating incentives for people to produce more efficiently, rewarding those who contribute the most with a larger share of resources. While this theory sounds good, it doesn't always work as well in practice. Nevertheless, capitalism is an economic tool designed to address the central economic problem, much like a socket wrench is a tool for securing nuts. The characteristics of capitalism vary among economists, politicians, and regular individuals, but some core features are widely agreed upon. Free markets, free trade, and money are not unique to capitalism and existed before it. These components are effective at answering central economic questions. Capitalism distinguishes itself by allowing free markets for the private ownership of capital, hence the name. Capital, which helps economies produce more, includes tools, factories, infrastructure, and technology. The development and improvement of capital over the past 250 years since the Industrial Revolution have made the world wealthier than ever before. Capitalism incentivizes private ownership of capital, encouraging individuals to improve existing capital or invent new ones for wealth creation. Investment in new capital development doesn't only involve money but can also include resources and technologies, as seen with companies like OpenAI receiving investments from Microsoft. Capitalism's system of investment and incentivized innovation makes it efficient at answering economic questions. However, capitalism faces criticism for its treatment of labor. In capitalist economies, labor operates within a free market where workers sell their labor hours and businesses buy them. Workers are incentivized to acquire skills that add value to the economy. Yet, capitalism tends to undervalue labor, as owners of land and capital aim to pay as little as possible. This results in competition among workers for jobs and encourages businesses to minimize labor costs. Critics of capitalism, like Karl Marx and Vladimir Lenin, argue for the redistribution of land and capital from profit-seeking individuals. While capitalism has done much good, it's not perfect. It has flaws, particularly concerning inequality and labor exploitation. However, it's also a tool for progress. By understanding its strengths and weaknesses, we can work to improve it and address its shortcomings, aiming for a better quality of life for all. Capitalism, like any tool, can be used for good or harm, and it's up to society to shape its direction.